This video is going to teach you the second lesson for pottery. So if you're watching this video, you should already have made a small little like texture plaque where you explored texture. And if you haven't, you should do that first. And today we are going to learn how to make what's called a pinch pot. All right, so as always, when we're working with clay, we should just be using the canvas. And I'm going to give you a fairly large piece of clay today. Now, we are going to get into sculpture where you can make the things that you want to make, but I will not accept anything but a pinch pot today. Okay, so this is not the kind of clay that hardens by itself. You have to put it in what's called a kiln. And a kiln is something, it's like an oven, but it gets really, really hot, and this type of clay just falls apart unless you put it into the kiln. So I will be firing these, and they will get hard, and we'll be able to glaze them, but today I'm only taking pinch pots, okay? The reason we're doing a pinch pot is it's actually going to help you build a sculpture next. So to make a pinch pot, you're going to have a ball. So you might get a ball, and it might not be quite smooth yet. It's your job. You can roll it a bit on the canvas. I also find that if you tap it in a shape of a ball, that will help you get it into the shape you want. It does not have to be perfect, okay, but you can kind of smooth out any cracks. Please do not work with it with your hands like you do slime. That will dry out the clay, okay? Now, once you have a ball, what you're going to do is you're going to take your two thumbs and you are going to press into the clay. Then you're going to turn it again, just slightly, like towards an angle, and you are going to press again. Then you're going to turn it again, and you're going to press. And you are going to continue to press and turn, press and turn, press and turn, until you're going to get something that kind of looks like this. Some anthropologists have theorized that this was maybe like the first kind of cup that a cave person, woman or man might have used, just with some clay in a riverbank, and just kind of would scoop up some water, okay? So you can connect to your Neanderthal roots as you're making this. But what we're doing here, once you kind of have a shape, you press and turn and press and turn, you're going to get a shape kind of a pinch pot, okay? And you are going to start to smooth it out, okay? I also think that once you get the shape, a good idea is to turn it over and to just tap it a little bit on the top, all right? And you could use this actually to drink out of or to do whatever, put things in. It will hold water when we fire it, but when you put it down, see how it might kind of tip over? So I would also consider tapping the bottom. So you're going to tap the top and you're going to tap the bottom. Once you have a shape that you like. Yours doesn't have to necessarily be this shape, but remember, do your thickness test. This is actually a little bit thick than I would normally want it. You can always kind of press and turn it like this, okay? Once you have your shape, then you are going to start using your fingers to kind of smooth out the surfaces and get it the consistency, all right, that you want. All right, so you can kind of get in there with your thumb and create it and turn it like this to create it a bit deeper if you want, okay? Some people like to pull up the side. Some people like to make it kind of like a wide bowl. Okay, that's up to you. Use your fingers to smooth this out, okay? If something's too thick, you just pinch it a little bit. All right, you can always go a little bit thinner, so don't get too thin. Remember, I'm not going to accept anything that's way thinner than the thickness of your finger, okay? So once you have kind of a shape that you like that's sort of smoothed out, now is your time to sort of take your tools, whatever tools you have. So this is why we used the tools yesterday. Remember, we had pencils, and we used things you can press. And I might bring out some different tools today. There's some stamps and things you might want to use. But really, the tools that you have in that bag can make some of your best textures, okay? You can decorate the rim, all right, with the texture. You can write, you know, something in the center. You can do a design, all right, if you'd like. It's up to you, okay? So this is basically what your pinch pot is going to look like, Okay, there's one word that I want you to remember for this, and you're going to write this down on your sheet. This is called greenware. So when a piece of clay is still wet and it hasn't been fired, it's what you call greenware. So in order to get your clay today, you need to have your piece of paper filled out, the one that I gave you when you came in the door, and then I'll give you your piece of clay, and you need to take your time with this. Everyone would probably just make one of these today, but you need to take your time with the whole process so that you give me a really nice product that you would like to have fired. Good luck.